firing back. The opposition leader refuting claims of a multi-million-dollar campaign contribution from the GBPA, calling it a political stunt. plus a brazen daytime robbery leaves one man dead. Our News was on the scene as the initial investigation unfolded. And then what you should know if you plan to be a good Samaritan during an emergency situation. A local EMS worker shares the do's and don'ts. And then in Our News at 7:30. The National Security Minister emphasizing the government's commitment to justice, irrespective of political affiliations. Our News Live at 7 starts right now. This is Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard slamming claims that the Grand Bahama Port Authority contributed millions of dollars to his campaign. During a press conference this afternoon, Pintard said he believes it's just a distraction and another political stunt from the PLP. Berthany McDermott picks up the story from here.
It is an absolute lie. Not 5 million, not 4 million, not 3 million. We could go, I won't know how much they got.
Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard not backing down after Prime Minister Philip Davis challenged him to confirm or deny if his campaign received financial contributions from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. In a press conference at the party's Mackey Street HQ, Pintard sought to flip the script on the Prime Minister.
We're willing to lay the list of our donors on the table. Are you willing to lay yours? Are you willing to answer whether or not most of the major companies that are presently engaged by this government that your administration has received contributions from? Are you willing to answer those questions and to say to what extent?
Pintard's comments come hours after the Prime Minister accused him of being the water boy for the Grand Bahama Port Authority. When questioned by a ZNS reporter about unsubstantiated claims that Pintard received up to $5 million from the GBPA in campaign money, Davis said, quote, "If they gave it to him, they gave it to him. But what was very curious to me is that once it came out, whether he would deny it or confirm it." He added, "We don't have campaign financial rules in the Bahamas. People could give their contribution to whichever party they wish. That's their free will. But if it comes to the light and the Bahamian people would like to know, I think it's only right for them to deny or confirm whether they have it." Pintard claims multiple administrations in the past, both PLP and FNM, have received donations from the GBPA. Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Ramming, said Davis has not personally got financial contributions from the port. But the FNM leader didn't stop there. He accused ZNS Northern Service of turning a meme into an allegation when they questioned the Prime Minister on the issue.
At what point did we get to this stage where a meme or a message online gets a media house to ask it as if it is a legitimate allegation, which we never heard before? All we know is we saw it online.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks so much, Berthany. Well, a daytime attempted robbery led to the fatal shooting of a scrap metal yard employee. Police say the brazen killing occurred just after 12:30 p.m. at an unnamed dirt road west of Pond Wash on Carmichael Road. According to Superintendent Dino Josie, police got several emergency calls reporting the shooting. Arriving at the scene, officers found the victim, who they believe is in his early 40s.
It was said that a white vehicle, hatchback, came to the scrapyard, saw the male, demanded cash, and opened fire on the male. The male dropped after he was shot. The car left this area heading in a westerly direction on Carmichael Road.
Police say they are following significant leads in the case. This latest killing brings the country's murder count to 83 for the year, according to Our News records. Josie says the spike in murders is alarming to police.
Because of the heightened crime, the commissioner has ordered all ranks out of the station. These high-ranking officers behind me, they're not just here because of the shooting. They were on the road. They responded in minutes of the shooting. We are going to find out who did this, why it happened. We're going to bring those persons to justice.
A man accused of shooting his girlfriend in June is now facing a murder charge in relation to her shooting. Prosecutors say on June 23rd, 37-year-old Kenyan Adderley shot Kashika Rigby in the head following an argument. The incident allegedly took place in Yellow Elder. Adderley initially faced a charge of attempted murder. However, Rigby died in hospital a few days after she was shot. Adderley did not have to enter a plea to the murder charge when he stood before Senior Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. He was denied bail and is due back in court on October 1st to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. The Department of Immigration reported 17 foreign nationals were repatriated to Havana, Cuba on Tuesday afternoon. The group was sent back on a charter flight and included 16 Cuban nationals and 1 Zimbabwean national. A statement today says the repatriation was led by the department's Operation and Enforcement Unit and that all security and health protocols were followed during the operation. And have you ever wondered what you should do if you ever find yourself helping out at the scene of an accident? Turns out there are some key things you can do. Our Joshua Williams spoke with an EMS worker who shares the do's and don'ts. Here's that report.
Car accidents, they happen every day. Some more serious than others can lead to serious injury. If you come upon one, what's the first thing you should do? National Emergency Medical Services Director Dr. Miles Brennan explains step 1.
Do is observe. So we tell anyone, look at the scene, try to determine exactly what's going on. Is it one vehicle? Is it two? Are there 2 passengers, 3 passengers? Has someone been thrown from the vehicle? Is there leaking oil? Is there smoke? Is there fire? Is the vehicle submerged?
He adds it's key so that first responders know what type of response is needed.
Securing the area, okay? When I say secure the area, make sure that bystanders aren't crowding around potential victims. Individuals who were included in the vehicle, the passengers, making sure that there's no traffic that can essentially come around corners and re-injure individuals.
The natural urge would be to physically help victims, but here's why you shouldn't.
So if you don't have the training to understand how they can be moved, it's very important that you don't move them. The same is true for individuals who are within vehicles, trapped, for example. They really should not be moved. Ideally, what you want to do is essentially speak to them if they are conscious and alert, try to figure out how they are injured so you can relay that information to emergency services.
Well, despite the advice, many still wonder if moving someone that's been involved in an accident can cause serious harm or death. Well, Dr. Brennan says it depends.
A lot of the time, persons have multiple injuries. It may be spinal, it may be internal bleeding, okay? But we know in terms of the data that has been received in the medical community, all right, that improper movement can exacerbate injuries. And I personally have not seen, in my time in the field or my time as an emergency physician, a good Samaritan or an untrained first responder actively causing life-threatening injury to a person, but we do know that it is a real likelihood.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Great information. Thanks so much, Josh. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg.
Happy Wednesday evening, everybody. Another hot and humid day around the islands. We had lots of clouds popping up across the mostly the northwest and central Bahamas. That's all courtesy of an upper level trough. We'll show that in a short while. But it is still warm on the outside. 85 degrees is our current temperature under partly cloudy skies. It's humid. The winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour, but it feels like a very warm 96 degrees on the outside. Temperatures around the islands right now, rain cool 82 in Freeport. You guys having some showers up there. 84s in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Governors Harbor, Alistown, Bimini, and in Great Harbor Key. Nichols, San Andros, and here in the capital, 85s. In the central Bahamas, 85 in Kemps Bay, Deadman's Key, Coburn Town, San Salvador, and in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Georgetown. You're having some showers nearby as well, and you guys are also 85. And into the southeast Bahamas, 85 once again in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, Providenciales, and Matthewtown, all 86s. And Abrahams Bay, you are kind of cool, 84 degrees at this hour. Sideline radar composite, upper level trough, dipping across most of the island chain, and that's keeping things a little unsettled across our area. We're seeing a lot of showers and thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas. Most of it is pushing towards the west-northwest. That's courtesy of an east to southeasterly wind flow. But we will continue to see this instability across our area as this upper level trough remains in place. So some showers and thunderstorms will be in your forecast tonight as well as tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, the Cable Bahamas group of companies making a significant donation to a local children's home recently. Plus, quarter-milers hit the track at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships. And sailor Joshua Higgins sets his sights on Olympic dreams. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
The journey to recovery is often a long one, laced with trials and triumphs, setbacks and successes. Tune into Our Voices, Echoes of Dorian, 5 years of resilience, as we continue the ongoing journey of recovery for Abaco and Grand Bahama. Tune in September 1st at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th, only on RTV.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why...
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Quarter-milers on the track and Tasha Stubbs in the field highlighted the action today for Team Bahamas at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships. Stubbs finished 11th in Group A of women's javelin qualification with her throw of 44.28 meters. Kamari Hana was 9th in Heat 2 of the women's 400-meter hurdles in 1 minute 4.84 seconds. Carlos Brown Jr. concluded Day 1 with his appearance in the men's 100-meter semifinals. Brown finished 7th in semifinal 2 in 10.63 seconds and finished 19th overall. In the women's discus, Kalia Jackson threw 43.62 meters to finish 14th in Group B, 29th overall.
Joshua Higgins has made headlines recently with his accomplishments on the sea. He recently returned from the 2024 ILCA UK Open and National Championship, where he finished 11th out of a group of 60 of the top sailors in the United Kingdom.
I just started sailing on the senior level. I did my first senior event that year. It was the World Cup in Palma in Spain. And yeah, I just did it for the next 3 years. After that, I just did the same events over and over again. Then I started to get better. I did my first Senior Worlds in 2023, which is the ISAF Senior Worlds.
Roster cuts are always a difficult time in the NFL preseason, and a pair of Bahamian players were casualties as teams trimmed their rosters ahead of the regular season. Wide receiver Mike Strawn was waived by the Carolina Panthers, while defensive tackle Denzel Daxon was waived by the Dallas Cowboys. That'll do it for Our Sports at 7. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as former President Donald Trump faces revived 2020 election interference charges. And from the region, the Caribbean Exam Council embracing artificial intelligence and in the process of creating the environment for academic integrity. The details when Our News returns.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with Alive Business Bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Former President Donald Trump was hit with a new 36-page indictment on Tuesday related to his effort to overturn his 2020 election defeat. The new indictment was obtained by U.S. Special Counsel Jack Smith's team after narrowing their approach to the election subversion case, following a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that former presidents have broad immunity from criminal prosecution. The new reworked indictment no longer includes allegations that Trump sought to pressure the U.S. Justice Department in his bid to overturn the election. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his troops' incursion into Russia's Kursk region is part of a victory plan that he will present to U.S. President Joe Biden next month. Sean Hogan reports.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky revealed on Tuesday he has a plan he wants to present to US President Joe Biden, which he believes will end the war with Russia.
One part of the plan that is already performed is in the Kursk region. The second part is Ukraine's strategic place in the world's security infrastructure. The third part is a pressure package, a powerful package to force Russia to end the war diplomatically.
There was no indication of what the next steps would be, but he said he was hoping to attend the UN General Assembly in New York in September and that he was preparing to meet Biden. The comments come as several people are dead and multiple injured after Russia continued major missile and drone attacks across Ukraine regions for a second day, officials said on Tuesday. Zelensky said on Tuesday that Kyiv would retaliate against Russia for its strikes. He asked allies to consider joint air defense operations and provide long-range capabilities. The Russian Defense Ministry said forces had carried out a high-precision weapon strike on Ukraine overnight, the Interfax news agency reported. Moscow denies targeting civilians since launching a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, although thousands have been killed. Several Russian military bloggers said Moscow's attacks were an act of retaliation for Ukraine's surprise incursion into Russia's western Kursk region, the first such action since World War II.
The U.S. Workplace Safety Agency said it is opening an investigation after 2 workers were killed and 1 injured at a Delta Airlines airline maintenance shop at the Atlanta airport on Tuesday. U.S. media reporting a Delta employee and a contractor were killed when a tire on a plane exploded while it was being removed. The aircraft had arrived from Las Vegas on Sunday. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration says it was opening an investigation. Meantime, the Federal Aviation Administration said it was in contact with Delta about the incident. Delta, in a statement, confirming the death and injury and calling the incident heartbreaking. The Barbados-based Caribbean Examination Council says it's embracing artificial intelligence and is in the process of creating the environment for academic integrity and safeguarding against intellectual laziness. CXC was established in 1972 and provides regional and internationally recognized secondary school leaving examinations. CXC's Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Wayne Wesley, said AI is something of interest to the region's examination body. Dr. Wesley recently telling a state-run radio station that the plan is to ensure the information being created by AI is verifiable and accurate. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was August 28th. Plus, Atlanta's Paradise Island Resort also pitching in to make the return to the classrooms easier for students and parents. And then in our news at 7:30, our City in Focus continues. Tonight, GBPA executives get candid about the ongoing spat with the government. Those details when our news returns.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
The journey to recovery is often a long one, laced with trials and triumphs, setbacks and successes. Tune into Our Voices, Echoes of Dorian, 5 years of resilience, as we continue the ongoing journey of recovery for Abaco and Grand Bahama. Tune in September 1st at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement. That arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision's actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike,
on this day in Bahamian history, in 1835, Zion Baptist Church on New Providence opened for worship. The church is located on the corner of Shirley Street and East Street and is the second oldest church in Nassau after St. Matthew's Anglican Church. It is the third oldest continuous Baptist church in the Bahamas after Bethel Baptist Church and St. John's Native Baptist Church. Then on this day in 1929, Bahamian-American actress Roxy Roker was born in Miami, Florida. Roker was the daughter of an American mother and Bahamian father who had moved to Florida. She is best known for playing Helen Willis, one half of U.S. television's first interracial couple on the hit TV show The Jeffersons. She is the mother of American artist and musician Lenny Kravitz. Roker died in 1995 at the age of 66. In 1954, the Bahamas Baseball Association was formed. The Historical Society notes, the meeting place was in the old YMCA building on Coburn Street in Grantstown, New Providence. E.S. Stanley Mitchell was elected the first president of the association. Then fast forward to 2019, when the Court of Appeal upheld a magistrate's decision to acquit former Progressive Liberal Party Senator Frank Smith of bribery and extortion charges. Prosecutors were challenging what they called the flawed and erroneous February 1st ruling of Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt to acquit Smith on allegations of extortion.
This system of checks and balances that would allow us to reach and arrive at this day where justice was done and also seen to be done.
And finally, in 2020, health officials confirmed an additional 97 cases of COVID-19, putting the total number of cases to 2,020. 1,221 of those cases were active, while 742 had recovered. At the time, there were only 50 COVID-related deaths. Atlantis Paradise Island Resort joining the growing list of community-minded companies assisting students, parents, and teachers with getting ready for the new school year. Their casino team decided to pool together to donate school supplies and school furniture to the Therapy Learning Center, a school focused on children with autism. Atlantis Pit Manager Gregory Clark and Atlantis' Executive Director of Community Development, Tashina Robinson, explaining the reason for the donation.
We feel it fitting to donate to Therapy Learning Center, mainly because it's that section of the society that mainly I would say is a little forgotten, because we usually reach out to the inner cities, schools that are inner cities, but what about the schools that no one hears about? And this is why we made the effort to donate to Therapy Learning Center.
Our associates, they provided essential items such as chairs, tables, pod swings, and writing tablets, everything the student needs to thrive in their learning environment. Beyond that, our team members also are addressing the needs of the schools and teachers, ensuring that they have the supplies that they need to continue offering quality education and care.
Founder and Director of Therapy Learning Center, Unique Smith, says she couldn't be more grateful for the donation.
I was over the moon. It felt like everything was just coming together because it really was a tough year. It was a tough year for all of us, and this is a blessing. The special needs community is sadly overlooked. A lot of people donate to typical schools or I found severe disability schools or programs with severe disabilities, but we're kind of in the middle with autism. And because autism doesn't really have a look, a lot of people think, well, they don't really need the help. But we definitely need the help, especially at Therapy Learning Center, because we put our all into providing for our students.
Well, kids at the Ranfurly Home for Children will be cooler soon, all made possible by a donation by the Cable Bahamas group of companies. A $6,000 check presented to the home by CBL officials will help replace 6 air conditioning units at the children's home. The home's standing president, Joey Primock, says the donation is welcomed.
It will mean that they're not sweating and just, dealing with the heat that's every day here, and they appreciate it very much. It is extremely important because it is really Ranfurly's lifeline that corporate donations continue to give to nonprofits like this. We are a private home, so we receive very little from the government on grants, less than 20%, so it is extremely important.
Alive CEO John Gomez says this latest effort aligns with the company's commitment to serving the community.
We stand firm on that. I mean, when you look back at our history in terms of helping those who are in need, we do it and we give back endlessly. And so when we got the call from the Ranfurly home in terms of a number of their ACs had failed, I mean, with this heat that we've all been suffering from, it was only fitting that we do something to help them.
Now, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News Live at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia.
Thanks so much, Megan. Well, coming up, the National Security Minister insists the Davis administration doesn't see color when it comes to prosecuting members of its party. Plus, the Free National Movement leader says he's hopeful about a new Grand Lucayan deal. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, the National Security Minister says the Progressive Liberal Party is colorblind when it comes to the prosecution of criminals. We have his full comments coming up. Plus, an RF Bank and Trust executive is commending the government for what he says is better management of their fiscal affairs. Also, the Free National Movement leader says they are prayerful and hopeful about the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort. And later, who has the right to use the Valley Boy's name? Our Joshua Williams speaks with the Junction Corporation when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Americas, on the picturesque island of Grand Bahama, a pioneering initiative is taking shape. Lucayan Solar Power Limited presents the $15 million Lucayan Solar Power Project, the first of its kind in the Bahamas' energy landscape. The state-of-the-art solar farm on the Fairfield and Devon sites spans just over 30 acres, and once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate over 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. The Lucayan Solar Project is a pivotal step towards diversifying the country's energy sources and significantly reducing dependency on fossil fuels. It's more than just a project. It's a commitment to a greener, more sustainable future. Lucayan Solar Power Limited, powered by INTI, powering your world, powering your future.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, turning off lights when you leave a room.
Welcome to Our News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. National Security Minister Wayne Munro says the Progressive Liberal Party is colorblind when it comes to the prosecution of criminals. His comments come in response to Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands expressing concerns about what he deemed rising lawlessness, disorder, and violence under the current PLP administration. Munro emphasizing the government is focused solely on justice, irrespective of political affiliations.
I would remind the Bahamian public, under the PLP, Wilbert Moss, a former PLP MP, went to prison. The same cannot be said. No similar example can be given from a Free National Movement administration. The public can be assured that we are colorblind.
On the sidelines of the opening ceremony of a U.S. Department of Energy high-level national workshop at the Atlantis Resort, Munro also hit back at Sands, saying who criticized the government for not having a plan to tackle crime.
We will do our part to equip the police to find and prosecute. We again invite the FNM to stop being divisive and join us as we try to engage young people to stop them going the wrong way.
Now turning to the country's economy, during our monthly sit-down interview with RF Bank and Trust VP of Group Head Investment David Slatter, he commended the government for getting their fiscal house in order. Slatter has been critical of the government and its debt levels and getting it under control over the past few months. However, he admits he has to acknowledge where progress has been made.
The debt to GDP ratio that we use was around 100% when COVID was in 2020. So what that means is, for every dollar of wealth that the country creates, we had an offsetting dollar of debt. All right, so, the target for the government, the target is 50% by the fiscal year 2030, 2031. We were at about 100%. At the end of 2023, we got it down to 82%. So there's been steady progress in bringing that down. A big part of that has been the strong recovery of the economy. So that GDP number has been growing. But also, if you look at the deficits that the government's had, it's been steadily coming down. So the economy has done its part, and the government has done its part to a great extent. So the deficit in the 2023 year was over 3%, 3.8%. Then the next year is down to, it's going to be around 1.1, 1.3%. And the target for next year is closer to 0.5%. So think about that. If the deficit is coming down is only 0.5%, but GDP grows by 2%, the debt to GDP number comes down. So they've done a very good job of getting that figure down. I think they've also done a better job of plugging gaps, right? Making sure that people who haven't been paying their fair share, that they do go after them. So for example, I remember years ago, it was like 30,000 households had not paid their real property tax. Well, since then, tremendous progress has been made to make sure that everybody, or most people, are paying their real property tax.
Well, hours after Prime Minister Philip Davis met with potential buyers for the Grand Lucayan Resort, F&M leader Michael Pintard said the party and Bahamians are prayerful and hopeful that this deal is the real deal. 6 months after taking office back in November 2022, government announced with great fanfare that it had agreed to sell the Grand Lucayan to Electra America Hospitality for $100 million. It was later revealed the deal collapsed. One of the government's key challenges has been getting the property sold.
We know before they oversold and underdelivered. We are prayerful and hopeful. We are pulling for a deal that can work and assist the people of Grand Bahama. But with this administration, we have to wait and see. They are long on promises, short on delivery.
The Menace administration bought the hotel from Hutchison Whampoa in August of 2018 for $65 million against the advice of the then Progressive Liberal Party. Pintard criticized government, saying they've had more time to sell the resort than the former administration had.
This administration came to government, now 3 years. And again, after complaining about how long we've kept it in our possession, how much money we have paid, and they have failed in 3 years, more time than we had post-Dorian since the time that we again acquired it in order for them to get a sale.
Well, during that press conference today, the F&M leader also denied claims that the Grand Bahama Port Authority contributed millions of dollars to their campaign. Pintard said he believes it's just another distraction and another political stunt from the PLP. Now, that story aired at 7 p.m. To see it again, it's available now on ournews.bs and our social media pages. Well, tonight we continue City in Focus, the story of Freeport, a weekly series sponsored by the Grand Bahama Port Authority as tensions persist between the government and the GBPA. GBPA executives are sharing their views on the matter and why they believe the issue should be resolved.
It's unfortunate that the government of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama Port Authority are not completely linked when we are walking out there representing Grand Bahama and the port area to the world.
For more than a year, we've seen a public back and forth between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The government blames a private entity for the decline of Freeport. The Davis administration also claims the GBPA owes them over $300 million, but the Port Authority has rejected that claim. GBPA shareholder Rupert Hayward shared his candid views on the matter.
I don't think the course the government's taking is going to be successful.
President of the GBPA, Ian Roll, says the situation doesn't do anyone good to see the two entities in court action.
That does not go down well with current investors and also investors who are thinking about potential investors.
Government has also said that it appears as if the GBPA is only in the business of collecting fees from licensees. Roll denies these claims.
Every dollar is put back into the city, and not $1 from the Grand Bahama Port Authority goes into the pocket of anyone as a dividend or any type of profit sharing. I just want to let the public know that the shareholders also help subsidize the work of GBPA. Saying that monies are not put back in, I disagree completely with that statement because of where I sit and I see where the money's going.
Although hurt by the situation, the GBPA executives admits they are still prepared to work with government as they believe this is the only way the city of Freeport will succeed. Have you tried to reach out and sit down with government to try to mend this broken relationship?
I've tried. I think other members of the team also have tried. I think this present administration desires a certain outcome. And there's no, I guess, stopping whatever that agenda is.
Why we can't sit around a table for the common good of the people of Grand Bahama and work things out rather than all this political fanfare that's in the press. You know, I understand politicians need to get elected and maybe they think this is a popular route. I can tell you it's not helping Grand Bahamians.
Well, the Valley Boys Junkanoo Group controversy now center stage once again as some ask which faction of the split group has the right to use the Valley Boys name. Our Joshua Williams spoke with both sides along with the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, who says only one group will rush under the Valley Boys banner.
The Valley Boys drama once again reigniting after a local media house reported the Registrar General's office allegedly ordered that the world-famous Valley Boys group led by Brian Adderley drop its name. But is it true? Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence Chairman Dion Miller says they're more concerned on who will head to Bay for the two major parades.
The Valley Boys has been registered with the JCNP to participate in the upcoming parades. That has not changed. That has been done by Brian Adderley.
This is the latest controversy to rock the major Junkanoo group since a split formed. Back in May, a statement was issued by a group that said a Way Forward committee had been formed and that Trevor Davis had been appointed as interim chair for the organization with a goal of elections next year. Shortly afterward, an official statement was released by the Valley Boys saying there had been no change in leadership and that Brian Adderley was still the group's chairman.
They cannot be registered as the world's famous Valley Boys because we see that name is conflicting and causing confusion with the Valley Boys. So who are they registered, what name they register at, and what documents, what more important is, what you all need to be asking, what documents they use to register their organization.
On both Labor Day and Independence, both factions of the group showed up to Bay to rush. With the latest drama, the leader of the Way Forward group is now questioning the grounds on which Adderley's group is registered.
We are still the registered group with the JCNP, and that is under the chairmanship of Brian Adderley. We are still registered in the A division. We are also preparing to receive seed funding from the government. We have also already decided our theme and have started Bay Street preparation because that is our ultimate goal.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, warm but fairly nice weather conditions in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks again, Atalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around our islands and outside our studios. 85 degrees is our current temperature under partly cloudy skies. We will call it humid. Your winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour. Your feels like temperature very warm and humid, 96 degrees. On the outside, satellite radar composite, a dip in the jet stream, what we call an upper level trough, draped across the northwest and portions of the central Bahamas, making things a little unsettled across our area. We're seeing a lot of showers and isolated thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas, some of that making it into the central Bahamas as well. Most of the activity is pulling towards the west-northwest. That's courtesy of an east to southeasterly wind flow. We will continue to see this unsettled weather pattern across our area tonight through tomorrow with some more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. And then we have another upper level system that's expected to dip into our area by the end of the week. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at the tropics and your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, what is life like studying abroad for college students? Our Joshua Williams speaks with a student when Our News returns. Stay with us.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussion. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
extra.
What are you? Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I read you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
$124 Haitian nationals repatriated to Cape Haitian this morning on a Bahamas Air chartered flight. The Department of Immigration telling us the flight left New Providence around 9/11. The group consisted of 108 men, 13 women, and 3 minors. In a statement, immigration officials say the repatriation was led by the department's Operation and Enforcement Unit, and all security and health protocols were followed during the operation. Well, many college students are back in the classroom for the new academic year. However, the challenge of preparing for back to school is not just for high school and primary students. Our Joshua Williams spoke to a Bahamian student abroad. We'll get to that story in a moment.
Coming up in sports, we get an update from the World Athletics Under-20 Championships, and Olympic sailing hopeful Joshua Higgins is already charting a course to LA 2028.
Will not only power holders and businesses. As we mark this landmark achievement, I am reminded of the journey that brought us here, a journey characterized by vision, collaboration, perseverance, and not to be forgotten, some sleepless nights. We saw the potential for a sustainable future that could empower our local communities and set a benchmark in the global shift towards renewable energy. The Fairfield site stands as a beacon of potential that highlights what is achievable when we come together for a common cause. The energy produced here will not only power holders and businesses, but it will also power economic growth and provide a cleaner, more sustainable environment for future generations. Here's to a brighter, cleaner, and more sustainable future for all. Thank you.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinutt. Let's do show. Action continued for Team Bahamas on Day 2 of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Lima, Peru. But before we get to Day 2, let's wrap up the evening session on Day 1. Carlos Brown concluded Day 1 with his appearance in the men's 100-meter semifinals. He finished 7th in semifinal 2 in 10.63 seconds and finished 19th overall. In the women's discus, Kalia Jackson threw 43.62 meters to finish 14th in Group B, 29th overall. Today in the field, Taysha Stubbs finished 11th in Group A of the women's javelin qualification with her throw of 44.28 meters. Kamari Hanna was 9th in Heat 2 of the women's 400-meter hurdles in 1 minute 4.84 seconds.
Inspired by a sailing legacy that has spanned generations,
Joshua Higgins has a lofty goal to return Bahamian sailing back to the Olympics. The 21-year-old Harbor Island native detailed how his lineage of sloop sailing prepared him for the transition to his current Olympic dream.
I mean, honestly, I was super gutted after not making the games, but that really put a fire in me even more now than ever. And I was super motivated. I took a break after the last chance qualifier in France, just to reset and rethink about the next 4 years going forward.
He recently returned from the 2024 ILCA UK Open and National Championships, where he finished 11th out of a group of 60 of the top sailors in the United Kingdom.
And then I came back to the boat in August. I competed in the British Nationals in Weymouth, and I placed 11th out of 60, which is very good for me. I missed out on the top 10 by 1 place, but I mean, I can't be mad with that. After 3 months out in the boat, not being in the boat.
He also placed 5th in his age category with 3 top 10 finishes across 9 rounds.
It was a difficult final week of cuts for Bahamians looking to make NFL rosters. Both veteran wide receiver Mike Strawn and rookie defensive tackle Denzel Daxon were released by their respective teams as clubs trimmed their rosters to 53 ahead of the regular season. Strawn was waived by the rebuilding Carolina Panthers after recent struggles in the preseason. He played just 54 preseason snaps for the Panthers and finished with just 1 catch for 7 yards. He appeared in 4 games for Carolina last season, catching 1 45-yard pass on 3 targets. Drafted by the Indianapolis Colts in 2021, Strawn has 6 career catches for 130 yards. Daxon, the rookie defensive tackle, signed with the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent in April. He appeared in 3 preseason games for the Cowboys and finished with 7 tackles and a half sack. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. So if Joshua does take the Bahamas back to the Olympics in sailing, what are we taking?
The sail?
I mean, we got to get there first. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, what is life like studying abroad? Our Joshua Williams spoke to a Bahamian student who's sharing some of the challenges students are often faced with. And Greg is back with your extended weather when Our News returns. Stay with us.
You ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
The journey to recovery is often a long one, laced with trials and triumphs, setbacks and successes. Tune into Our Voices, Echoes of Dorian, 5 years of resilience, as we continue the ongoing journey of recovery for Abaco and Grand Bahama. Tune in September 1st at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision's actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th, only on RTV.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired?
This is Our News. Welcome back. Yes, we are now watching the tropics. We have a couple of areas that we are going to be watching over the next couple of days. One of concern is an area that's not there yet, but the National Hurricane Center is watching it for potential for development. About a 20% chance over the next 7 days, so we're going to continue to watch that. The track has it coming very close to the Great Antilles, Puerto Rico, and the Haiti or Hispaniola area. Then there's another strong tropical wave coming off the African coast. The National Hurricane Center will be watching that one as well closely. And of course, a third one it's up there near Bermuda. Not really concerned about that. It's basically fizzling itself out, so we're not going to really concern ourselves too much with that. Across our area, upper level trough is in place. That's going to keep us a little unsettled over the next couple of days. So we're looking at some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for most of the island chain, with the exception being the southeast Bahamas, where a high pressure ridge will continue to dominate over the next couple of days. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that upper level trough still across us. Scattered showers will be waning at nighttime, but by tomorrow we expect showers back in the forecast, and that will continue to be the trend through Friday. So it's likely that you may have to take your umbrella if you plan on doing anything on the outdoors. Boating forecast. Winds will be east to southeast, 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Your low tide is at 11:05 tonight. High tide takes place at 4:51 in the morning for the central and southeastern islands. We expect a small craft caution in place for you guys. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we will keep moisture and showers and thunderstorms in the forecast with that upper level trough in place. There's also another upper level system that will be getting near us. So that trend will continue through the remainder of the week and into the weekend. And then we get some clearing by next week with some isolated showers still in the forecast. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the challenge of preparing for back to school is not only for high school and primary school students. College students face similar hurdles like tuition, supplies, and travel costs. Well, our Joshua Williams spoke to a Bahamian student abroad who's sharing her experience and what steps she took to ease the process.
Back to school can be challenging for both school children and parents, but it's perhaps college students that face the biggest hurdles, especially those studying abroad. 18-year-old Hope Smith is a junior at St. Leo University in Florida, and as the fall semester begins, Hope shares the things college students have to deal with.
Whether it be making sure your I-20 is in order, whether it be making sure you have housing, because you have to select housing each year, whether it be making sure you have a food plan so that you can eat while you're over there, whether it's be looking for campus jobs, getting things for your dorm. It's a lot of things you have to do before you go back to school for the new semester.
And of course, these things don't come cheap. Hope says excelling academically in high school can help offset the cost.
I got the Dean Scholarship because of my grades, so it was an academic scholarship. And then on top of that, I got a Global Citizen Award, which is another scholarship. And then on top of that, I recently just got a dance scholarship because I'm on my school's dance team. So while that does help with the cost of my tuition, it is literally only a fraction of what I have to pay for my school fees.
In addition to on-campus work, Hope holds several positions, serving in student government, various clubs, associations, dance teams, and committees, something she says keeps her honest and focused.
Sometimes it can become time-consuming. Sometimes I have to take a step back. Sometimes I have to focus on myself and remember I'm only human. There's only so much I can do, but I love to be as involved as I am.
Now, Hope has this bit of advice for you college students returning to the classroom this fall.
If you have a hiccup, you can fix it. Like, you can find a solution to whatever your problem is. Just keep your head up, keep pushing. And to anybody that wants to go abroad or off to school, take God with you and remember what you've been taught from home, because you need those teachings to stay with you while you're in college to keep you grounded.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh, and thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.